front that sells it to you.
That's a heck of a cover, too. I mean, that was
Thank
unbelievable. Shelly Jones joins us here
Good
on the
morning.
program, and you might be familiar. Great voice, by the way.
Thank you.
Might be familiar with the work from Man Talk Radio. For how many years were you involved in that program?
I was only with that show about 1.5 years, 2 years, but my original base that got me started in radio is the original Ron and Ron.
Oh, yeah, out of
Years
Tampa,
ago,
Florida.
Yeah, back in the 90s.
Now, how'd you get involved in that?
I originally started modeling lingerie for them, and then I became their panty fax queen, and then Flipper got a...
Anti-Fax Queen. I like the title already. Luby, how come we don't have one of those? What's the matter with you?
Well, you know, I might volunteer for that job.
You're making a comeback as a Panty Fax Queen?
Sure, we can make it one comeback, you know?
Yeah,
Want
look
your
at me.
panty fax, call in now.
My whole career is one long comeback. Just ask Deborah, your friend.
Mine too.
She's known me for 20 years, and, you know, she was literally putting the makeup on me with a spatula back in the days of the sports rap show. All right, so how did you find the experience? I mean, because obviously for us, and welcome back to the show, Jeff Defos with the 940 WINZ of Sports Animal. We get these requests all the time. When are you going to have, like, hot babes on your program?
Okay.
And there's a reason for it, but it seems like guys just can't handle it. They go overboard. They start stalking. They start, you know, getting outside of themselves and becoming absolute idiots in the presence of a beautiful woman.
Totally. You're 100% right.
Now, how do you handle that? I would imagine, especially being on the cover of Playboy magazine, that quite a few people came out of their shell in an effort to get your attention.
Day by day I'm handling it, but it seems like day by day I'm picking up another stalker. You know, guys need to know when to say when. You know, the law says if you call somebody more than 3 times, it's harassment.
What, in a minute?
No, in a 24-hour period.
What about, with Facebook and things like that? Are you on Facebook?
Yeah, I am on Facebook. It's Shelly Jones, model, actress, DJ.
All right, sounds great. And how come we're not friends? Because we just met?
We should be friends. I think I befriended you.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I don't know yet. Maybe.
Oh, well, I'll have to check it out, because now there you get guys, they'll grab some woman's picture and, all of a sudden become infatuated with her.
Right.
And in the chat room, if a woman doesn't respond to your first 17 attempts to contact her, would you say it's time to throw in the towel?
I strictly use Facebook as networking. I don't get on there and talk about, I'm going to meet up with you. Where are you from? Oh my gosh. I already went through the 2 or 3 weeks of reuniting with everybody from elementary school. We already said hi. I'm done with it. Now it's just a public page, like saying, I'm on the Jeff DeFoster show today.
Yeah, and, here we are on 940 WINZ of Sports Animal.
Actually, it said I was going to be on here Monday, and I had to go on there and change it and say,
oh, really? Yeah, there was a lot of confusion. Well, Lubitz, who sets up all of our guests.
And I put a link to you.
Yeah, and they're 5 days in a week, and it's not easy for us to identify which is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're on a day-to-day basis here. We really are. I mean, our contract is renewed on a daily basis.
Well, maybe you need a good-looking, program director like me.
Well, I mean, we have a good-looking program director, but, you would be great in the promotion department, right? Because you've been involved in...
Promotion. I was just picking on your program director, really.
Oh, this guy, he's hardly the program director. He's lucky the program director even knows he's alive. He was better off, I think, when he didn't. All of a sudden, we're being asked for lists and things, that we can't produce. But all right, now you were involved in a great radio promotion, though, and we mentioned at the top of the show that we're trying to get some attention for this program. But this one was probably the all-time capper, right? Out there with the stickers.
Well, yeah, actually, I did it was a morning talk show in Corpus Christi, and I just promoted that it was during bike week, it was 100 degrees out, and I thought it was wrong that, we're supposed to be equal rights here, but men can walk around without a shirt and women can't. So the radio station had stickers that were probably like 3 inches by 4 inches, but they were clear, and the logo is right in the
Basically
center.
pasties with the collar.
Pretty much,
yeah.
And we were handing them out on the streets, and we had the whole town of Corpus Christi with strict stickers over their breasts, and finally the cops called and said, look, Shelly, we can't arrest you for this, but we can remove you from the area to stop this.
Wow.
You really need to quit causing such a commotion. But everybody had a great time, and we loved it.
It's a tremendous promotion. What are you talking about? Anytime you get a radio promotion that involves police activity and threats of removal and naked women walking around with bumper stickers for breasts.
I mean, it was great because it was bike week too,
I hope
so all
Trujillo's
the women
listening.
were more than willing. It wasn't like there was really any children. And if you're going to bring your kids to something like a bike week event, you have to expect that.
I'm loving it already. Hey, Lubitz, make sure Trujillo's listening back there in promotion. Are those bumper stickers with my face on it ready? Can you imagine the horror people would experience? Well, now after you're on the cover of Playboy, and we're talking with Shelly Jones here, live in the studio, which is a sensation so far at Clear Channel communication. Well, did you? We've never been so popular, right? We've never had like people actually come up to us and say, "Hey, who's that on your show?" Usually it's like some backup catcher, or something along those lines. But
well, you guys got a pretty good lineup today.
Well, a lot of sports guys. Well, nothing like you, but I mean, we do have the lovely and talented Leslie Visser, who's a goddess of sports broadcasting, and probably the most, well, without question, the most prominent female broadcaster of all time, and named the greatest female broadcaster of all time. Kind of a pioneer. Now, you must have dealt with this, though, with athletes, the number of athletes that were subscribers to Playboy.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I mean, did you infiltrate any areas where, jocks were involved? And what really goes on, Shelly, is what we
Yeah, I
want
have
to
a
know.
lot of dirt on a lot of athletes. I don't know how far I should go with this.
Well, as far as you can possibly imagine to take it, I mean, we're trying to get some ratings here.
Dennis Rodman I met in a bar, and I actually beat Carmen Electra out of a cover for Playboy, one of Playboy's videos.
You knocked Carmen Electra off the cover.
Yeah, she was on the back, and that's how I kind of approached him. I was like,
She was like a bag leader.
No,
in the eyes
she was
of
a
the Playboy
cheerleader
people.
in the video, but she ended up on the back cover, and I had the front cover. And I approached him saying, I beat your ex-wife out of a cover.
Talking about Robin. Well, he's an oddball anyway. I'm
Yeah,
not sure that he
we know.
counts. 'Cause he's
Well, I'll just add to the list of oddball things he does. And he says, here's $20, go get us 2 shots, come back, sit down, and talk to me.
Jägermeister. That's his drink of choice.
I think
right?
so, yeah. And I went and got him 2 shots, and it came to like $17, and I told the bartender to keep the change. And I came back to the table, and he's like, "Where's my change?"
No, he wanted the $3 back. Rodman.
The $2.50, yeah. And I'm like, "Are you?"
$2.50. Not even $3. Where's he from? Toronto.
I'm like, "Are you serious?" And he's like, "Yeah, go get my change." I was like, "You have to be kidding me." He's like, "No, I'm not."
Rodman wanted you to go get his. I'm surprised
From
he
the
had the 20
bartender.
to begin with. Cause,
So I gave him $5 out of my own pocket, and I told him, "Look, you keep the change. You need it more than I do."
wow, and that was so you blew off Dennis Rodman.
Did a shot, walked away.
I don't know that Robin would remember. I mean, it's not like you should be insulted if he doesn't, because I don't know.
I wouldn't care.
I've talked with him, and 5 minutes later, he didn't remember that he was
I wouldn't care.
talking with
Isn't
me.
he supposed to be like straight now? I don't believe that either.
It's a relative term. I never really delved that deeply into it, but let's say we've heard
The
theories
next
out
story
there,
would
yeah.
show my age, and probably everybody's age that we remember. I don't know if you remember the old Kendall Toyota show.
Yes, of
Night,
course.
the late
Yeah,
night
I
show.
was an invited guest on that program.
You were on the show also.
I never got there. I couldn't find the place where they were taking it. It was in a warehouse district
Yeah,
somewhere,
that's
yeah,
much
behind some medical clinic. Yeah.
I was on the show with John Sally and Gina LaMarca, Penthouse Pet of the Year that year.
Okay.
And John Sally's daughter.
So they have Penthouse and Playboy
Right.
duking it out. Beautiful.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
All right. Which was the better magazine, in your opinion? I mean,
That depends on your taste.
all right.
I mean, women probably prefer.
Penthouse a little sluttier, I guess? Or...
Yeah, at that time they showed a little bit more. I think Playboy's getting a little more risque now.
Oh, they are? Okay. I mean,
Not as risque as Penthouse, but
Well-
Penthouse has had a couple of owners since the Bob Guccione died.
with the internet now and the things that are on there, I would not have survived my youth if the internet was around when
The internet
I was
is
going through
totally
puberty,
dominating
yeah.
the magazine industry for sure.
yeah, it's pretty wild. So you were saying about John Sally
I
then.
don't know
would
if I even
imagine.
should say this.
Is
This
it
might
John
cause
Sally
a
story?
divorce. This might cause a divorce.
Is that right? John Sally ruined your marriage?
No, this might cause his
Oh,
divorce.
might cause his divorce. All right, maybe we can just leave it at that. I mean, obviously a thing for tall men, though. I mean, Rodman's like 6'9", 6'10".
No, I've told Aronde Gaston off a few times.
All right, well, he's one of the friends of the program.
Is he?
He got a little fresh?
We made men's now. I met him making appearances.
He's a sweetheart of a guy.
I met him actually at Tootsie's making an appearance, and I was sitting with the GM of the Heat and the GM of
GM of the Heat is hanging out at Tootsie's?
and the Miami
Isn't that
Arena.
Mickey
The old
Harrison?
Tootsie's. The old Tootsie's. I was the feature entertainer there that week, and he came in with his. He came in and he had requested me to come over and sit with him, and he pretty much just he had a full, diamond Rolex. You couldn't see nothing.
Did
It was
he give it to you?
Thanksgiving.
Did he offer to give it to you?
No, it was
All right.
Thanksgiving. They just lost their game. I forget who they were playing that year. It snowed during the game, and I couldn't believe they were even in the club because they had to fly right from the game back into Florida and come straight into Tootsie's from the airport. So he requested me
This
to
is
come
your
over.
Miami Heat. This is true stuff here. I hope Ronnie Rothstein wasn't part of that crew. I love that guy.
And I go over, and I'm like, well, it's going to cost you a little bit more money for me to sit with you. I'm like the headliner, and I'm really not supposed to be sitting with people anyways. And I was already sitting with some other people. And he was like, well, I'm not spending more money on you. And I was like, it's only like $25 more.
What is with these cheapskate
And he was
men?
like, well, I don't have it. And I go, you know what? After the game you played tonight, I don't think you have the extra money.
Wow, just hit him right below the belt.
Then
Yeah, the low blow, Jim. Okay.
Then I ran into him again later at another bar, and he like wanted to buy me a drink, and I caught an attitude. I was like, you're a jerk, leave me alone. And he kept persisting, like, what did I do? What did I do? And I finally sat down and told him, and he was like, you know, I kind of remember that. He was like, I'm really, really, really sorry. So we made amends over that. He was like, I was probably having a bad day, you know, between the game, flying, the whole bit.
We have to make this girl a regular. Louie, did you get all the information? The lovely Shelly Jones with us here. You know, this is a far cry from guys, you know, sobbing, openly weeping on the program about, oh my God, they only won by 20. What are we gonna do, DeForest? You know, I mean, this is good stuff. I mean, we're loving every second of this, and no doubt it is driving a huge spot.
Yeah, I'd be scared to leave here now.
All right, so let me ask you a final question here.
We have a bunch of athletes in the parking lot waiting to kill me.
No, nobody cares. They'd be wanting to, you know, as you said, make amends.
Like, nobody knows this show exists, right? That's
Exactly,
why we're trying
yeah.
to do this.
That's exactly right. We're trying to pump it up from 0.0. Lutarski numbers that are showing up in the ratings books and things of that nature. All right, now we call it fighting unattached. Are you, you know, because the guys out there, I can hear the questions sometimes. You know, I hear
Right.
voices. Because you know, you can feel the people as you're doing the show, and you
Right.
kind of get a sense of what's going on. Will they respond to this? And I feel this question on the minds of everybody. Are you with somebody right now, Shelly Jones?